So this is where Power Book 2 Ghost is really going to start. The plot is going to thicken with some of our main characters, especially the Tejada and Tariq. Season 1 was all about finishing up and tying up loose ends from the original Power series, but now we're going to get into the action for the Tejadas, action for people like Tariq, Effie and Brayden, and we have to add into the mix the new Connect Mecha, what will happen with Tube, Cristobal and Roberto's return, there's Davis McLean and his brother Theo Rollins, Rashaad Tate storyline, Cooper Saxe and Jenny Sullivan. So in this Power Sunday, we're analysing the new storylines to come in Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2. So if you're new to the channel, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Universe related, especially with Power Book 3 Raising Kane and around the corner on July the 18th. Now one of the main key plots coming into Season 2 is going to centre around the Tejadas. Season 1 left a relationship between Monet and Kane in limbo, Monet telling Kane that she'll put him down herself after his rebellious actions almost cost Zeke his career and being partly to blame for Drew being shot as well. On the other hand, we had Lorenzo telling Monet to go and win Kane back after killing Rico and that she needs soldiers if she wants to start a war. But will Monet accept Kane back into the Tejada family? Even if she does, she clearly won't be able to trust him, and the divide element come through Lorenzo's character description, because he's going to find out she's been keeping secrets from him. There's going to be a conflict between the pair and a real power struggle, because Monet will want to do things her way and Lorenzo will want to do things his way. One of Monet's secrets is that she was sleeping with Ramirez. The other secrets are that she now knows more about Tariq, who his Uncle Tommy is, who James St. Patrick is, and that Tariq killed his father, who's Ghost. Will she tell Lorenzo? It doesn't look like it reading Lorenzo's character description, and there may be even more secrets, and this will really threaten to split the Tejada family in two. And what could make it worse and create this divide is Kane. Kane knows all about the relationship between Monet and Ramirez, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to his father and tell him just to get back onto his good side, because he will need someone, and if he can't turn to Monet, then he's going to turn to Lorenzo. And we saw early signs and cracks that began appearing in his Season 1 to clearly foreshadow there was going to be a huge divide with the Tejada family. Lorenzo wants Diana to go to college and Drew to take over the family business, whereas Monet has them playing these positions in the family which neither Diana or Drew want. For Drew himself, I feel he's one death away from turning into an absolute savage. For example, if Ev is caught in the crossfires or crosshairs and is killed, then I can see Drew really taking a dark turn. But I can see a real power struggle between Monet and Lorenzo in the coming season, and a seed that was planted into Monet's mind was something that Tasha said to her. After she was released from prison, she went to go visit Monet to buy Tariq out of the business, and Monet said Lorenzo would never allow it. Tasha said, I'm asking you, not Lorenzo. Naturally, as a human, that will stick with you in the back of your mind. And Monet going forward, I think she's going to want to do things her way now. So the power struggle between Monet and Lorenzo is truly going to be on in Season 2. And just coming back to Lorenzo for a moment before I talk about Mecha and his involvement with the Tejadas, Lorenzo's in prison. He's going to have an increased role in Season 2 and going forward in Power Book 2 Ghost. And it makes me think about the conversation and choice of words Kane used in episode 6. He said that Lorenzo's already served 10 years, he can get out in 2 years on good behavior. And I really wouldn't be surprised to see him being released from prison at some point in the future. I think they put the wheels in motion for that to happen, and when and if it does, then it's really going to spice up Power Book 2 Ghost, and I really hope it happens coming towards the end of Season 2. Now a huge factor that we need to take into consideration when it comes to the Tejadas is this new Connect Mecha. He's going to turn up just when the Tejadas need to fill the gap left by Rico, but he's got a mysterious past which will start to be exposed, and it's going to be revealed that the drug business might not be his only endgame for this family. So all things taken into consideration with the potential divide with the Tejadas, Mecha may just play a role in this as well. But what's his endgame for the Tejadas, and what's his past? Will he have ties with someone past or present in the Power universe? Because there's Cristobal, Roberto, Tube and Lil Guap all still to play a role. So where do they fit in? Those 4 characters are definitely going to return some of those street vibes to Power Book 2 Ghost that we saw in the original series, and I feel Lil Guap is going to be this Dre type of character that will just be around for a very long time on Ghost, a cat with 9 lives. And then there's Cristobal and Roberto. Will they be in prison or will they be out free roaming the streets just like Tube? Because both Cristobal and Roberto were arrested on Power and we saw nothing from them since. But do they really have a case that stuck to them for them to still be in prison? I don't think so, and I think we may just see them free. But if they are in prison, then there are 2 other characters that they could potentially have ties with. Lorenzo and Redmond's character Theo Rollins, who's going to be in prison, who I'm going to come to later on when I do talk about Davis McLean's story. But it's possible that some of these characters may have crossed paths in prison, so that is something to definitely look out for. If they haven't, then they may cross paths soon. And Cristobal, Roberto and Tube, there's no love lost there. There could be a real battle in the streets between Cristobal and Tube, and that's something to to look forward to if it happens. But what about Tariq? Let's talk about the storylines involving Tariq St. Patrick, because he's not going to have a straightforward time like he did in season 1. He's going to feel a lot more isolated. We have to remember he's got nobody left. There's no Ghost, there's no Kane, no Uncle Tommy, and Tash is in Widsec, so he's going to have very limited contact with her as well. So he's going to have to start trusting some people around him. That Brayden and Effie are going to be high up on that list of people that he's going to need to trust, because he's going to be working with them, and possibly Diana too. The big question is, can he trust Effie? We're going to see a partnership form between Effie, Tariq and Brayden, where Effie starts out as competition to them at first, but then they're going to start working together, with Effie playing more of a role in season 2. But Tariq will really have his guard up when it comes to Effie, because he's been burned before and he won't want to be burned again. But what's Effie's endgame? Does anybody really know what she's done? Who her brother was killed in a robbery gone wrong, because there were a few robberies that went wrong in Power. There's a question mark about who her connect is. She spoke to Tariq in a way where she can be a protector and claims she's a monster too. So what has she done to become this monster? I really wouldn't be surprised to hear that Effie has caught a body or two before, because it certainly sounds as if she has. So Effie is someone that still may be trouble for Tariq, and then you add in the element of Lauren, who Tariq really likes, and then there's Diana too. So who's the right one for Tariq? Before I said it was Effie because Lauren is too good, Diana is Monet's daughter and you can't mix business with pleasure, but we all know it's going to happen anyway. But Effie knows Tariq, but trust and power, they don't mix too well. So Tariq needs someone that he can trust, and his relationship with Brayden needs to be as strong as ever going into season 2, because they're going to need each other. Brayden still hasn't experienced the real street elements of the game, and this is where Tariq can come in, this is where Kane can come in, and possibly even 2-Bit as a bit of a mentor to Tariq and Brayden too. Will Brayden get his first kill in season 2? I hope we see it, but I really wouldn't be disappointed if we don't. As long as it makes sense for his character development, then I'll be all for it, because I do think he's going to turn into one of the most savage characters over the course of Power Book 2 Ghost. But 2-Bit and Tariq, let's talk about 2-Bit and Tariq next, and the whole element of will 2-Bit mentor Tariq, because we've already seen glimpses of this happen with 2-Bit telling Tariq to wipe down the pipe after he killed Barz. No doubt 2-Bit will be back to collect from Tariq too, because that's something we didn't see in the season finale, and how Tariq handles this and gets 2-Bit on side is yet to be seen. I fully expect 2-Bit to play more of a role in season 2, especially with the rumoured return of Cristobal and Roberto. He'll need a connect, and Mecca may just be his connect as he gets back into the streets and starts rebuilding. And with 2-Bit, he's a real street soldier, and this is why the dynamics of 2-Bit and Tariq would work really well in my opinion, because Tariq, he's a money man, he's smart, he knows how to make moves, but he's not a soldier. 2-Bit is, and this is why I think the dynamics of those two working together would work really well. Whether it happens is another question entirely, but Corny Kemp in a Q&A said that Tariq will have many more mentors along the way. We've seen him learn from Kane, and he's taken elements from his father Ghost, Tasha and Tommy as well, so there will be a few more along the way, especially considering he no longer has Tasha to fall back on, and I think 2-Bit may be one of them. Now another storyline and plot that we need to look out for with Tariq involves Cooper Saxe. Will Cooper Saxe be Tariq's Joe Proctor? Because Jenny Sullivan is going to be back on the block trying to prosecute Jabari's killer, whoever it could be, but the killer's new defense attorney is Cooper Saxe, who's working with Davis McLean. Now Saxe is in Jenny's bed, we saw that at the end of season 1, and if he is really Tariq's defense attorney, then he can gain access to all of the information he needs to with regards to the case from Jenny Sullivan, and we know Saxe doesn't have a problem bending the law. Now the real question is, who is Saxe defending? Could Tariq have planted Ramirez's gun on someone else to take the fall, or will Tariq be in the spotlight once again? Now at some point in Power Book 2 Ghost, I fully expect Tariq to go to prison, just like Tommy did, just like Ghost did, because I think this is a lesson that Tariq needs to have, and I don't think it's going to happen in season 2, but at some point in the future it will. So will Tariq get caught up in the death of either Barz or Jabari? He's already caught up in the two, and what doesn't help is this computer with Tariq's story, which is going to play a huge role in this. Whoever finds it first is going to have a lot of information. If they can put the pieces of the puzzle together, could potentially even be Carrie, and where there's Carrie there's also Zeke too. He's a character that could be pressured into talking, and a character I could feel that could really die next season, especially with the Tejada divide, him being caught in a crossfire or a problem created by one of the Tejadas, because Monet has made it perfectly clear that she wants to keep Zeke away from that side of the family, and he's their way out of the game. There are no happy endings on Power, and he's a death prediction for season 2 of mine. But Davis McLean and Theo Rollins, practically brothers off screen and now brothers on screen, they're sitting on the opposite sides of the law with Theo in prison, and they have a deep history of running the streets together. Why Theo got caught and is serving a sentence and McLean isn't, we're probably going to find out, and possibly one of the reasons why McLean wants Saxe to work for him, because he could help his brother's case. McLean is a character that always wins, and he's got an unbeaten record, but what about when he loses? How's he going to react then? And talking about losing, there is another character that's going to be heavily involved in my opinion. That's Rashaad Tate. He's also going to lose. He's going to lose his gubernatorial race, and he's a character that's always used to winning and having things fall his way. For Rashaad Tate and his brother Kamal, I think his role will run deep into the season, because I really think this is where they set up Tate's spin-off influence, where he loses his gubernatorial race, and where Kamal really finds out what his brother's involved in. And I really wouldn't be surprised to see Rashaad Tate's character really take a dark turn in the lead up to his spin-off influence. But those are some of the key main storylines that we know so far, some of the plots that we expect to play out in season 2 of Ghost. Of course, Power, there's always going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more twists and turns to come. So drop me your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about the Tejadas divide? The Tejadas versus Tejadas, Effie and her team up with Brayden and Tariq. Will Tariq be caught up with killing Jabari? And could Cooper Saxe become Tariq's Joe Proctor? Let me know your thoughts down below. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.